Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Brittany from rock band Palecurse.
Sup?
Don't you give up that easy. Wishing it all comes in. Will you fight for me? Don't you ignore me. Forget whatever you told me now. You can't outlive the past. Caught in the middle. All we can do is try. Don't you give up that easy. Wishing it all comes
I just want to start out with some easy questions. Um, what was one of the albums growing up that you could listen to front to back?
That's a great question. I did it a lot the last several weeks. Definitely Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, My Chemical Romance. I found that when I was about 14, so I listened to that still front to back. Yep. Yep.
Okay, cool. Um, I wanted to dig into some history. What inspired you to get into music? Was it like a song, a singer, a band? What made that spark happen?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off that record I just said, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I was probably, well, I know I was 14 when I saw it. It was 2004. Um, and we had like a little 12-inch television in my living room growing up. And I remember MTV was available at the time to watch just anywhere. And so a commercial came on when I was getting ready for school one day, and it was a preview commercial for Helena, their single that wasn't out yet. And I remember being like, I mean, just absolutely starstruck. And I saw Gerard come on. He's doing all his theatrics and how he looks and everything. And I remember I felt like time stopped. Like I was just like, I have to be him when I grow up. Like that is what I want to do. And so I waited for that record to come out, and I bought it the week it released at FYE in my hometown where I'm from. And back when CDs were like literally everywhere there. And so it was just like really really cool to like be a part of that as like a really young teenager. And so I bought that, listened to it every day, and I pretty much have since, and I'm 33 now. So I still love it just as much as I did then. It's wonderful. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, I have to play music. Like that was the first time like I felt the pull in my heart, and I was like, I don't know what that looks like, but I want to do it. So definitely then.
Now, were you singing before then, or did you start after that? You're like, I want to sing, I want to perform, you know?
Yeah. I've been singing all of my life. I don't have like a definitive age. But it was definitely way before I was 14. I remember when I was a little girl, my grandparents, they actually bought me, um, I don't, I mean, I'm sure they still make them, but it was like a little tiny karaoke machine. I mean, it was maybe this big, but it was pretty legit. I mean, you could put CDs and stuff in it. There was like an actual microphone that attached. It wasn't like the ones that just like echo in your hand. Like it was real. And I had just kind of always been singing, like, songs on the radio, even if I didn't know the words or exactly, like, what they were singing about. I just remember singing, and my grandparents, really, coddled that in me. So it was really cool because I feel like even if I was bad then or whatever, they were really supportive of it. And as I got older, even maybe around 14, a little bit older, I started singing in my, church youth group growing up, so I got involved with that band, and so that was probably like this kind of start of it all, where I was just like, "This is very me." So, pretty much all my life, I guess to answer. So, I love it, yeah.
Okay. And who would you say are some of your musical influences? Obviously, My Chemical Romance, but is there some other ones out there?
Right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I love Taking Back Sunday. Um, man, I feel like every time I get asked this, I like don't think of the right answer right away. So, yeah, Mike Kim, Taking Back Sunday. I love Bayside was a great band growing up. Um, I feel like I used to listen to a lot of hardcore music, because that was kind of the scene in the indie area. But um, man, I wish I had my CD, like my binder. I love a lot of pop music now too, so I listen to a lot of that. But yeah, growing up, probably definitely My Kim and Taking Back Sunday. I loved like bands with female fronted like bands, but I felt like even at a young age, I was like I didn't want to be classed in that, and so I just wanted to be a singer. And so I listened to primarily, male fronted bands. So I would say at least those two. I loved The Used as well. Actually, Green Day, that was a huge influence on me growing up. I've loved them forever. I mean, that was actually my first concert ever. It was Green Day and Jimmy Eat World. I was 14. So it was sick. Good year for music.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Tell me about how you met your band members. How did that happen? Were you like in search of band members to form a band, or how did that happen?
Yeah, that's a great question actually. So a couple of my band members, Monroe and Luke. So Josh, who I'm sure you'll meet at some point, he was in my old band right at the end we were called Forever at Last. And he was in that band with me at the end. So I met Josh because he's in my husband's band too, still. So he does double duty a lot. But so he was already in this band. And then when I was like, that band was done, I took a little bit of a break from music. And I was like, I think I want to start a band again, but I've never been like in charge in that way. So it was a little daunting for me because I didn't want to just like have anybody, and I wanted to have some kind of history with them if possible. And so I'd met Monroe and Luke. Well, Monroe I met from his old band, and then like we were just like mutual friends, but I saw him all the time, so that was cool. And then Luke actually, see if I can say this right. So Luke is married to one of my best friends, and she is my husband's cousin. So Luke and I have a lot of family events together. So I just say he's my brother. So because he feels like my brother. So I've known Luke forever, probably 15 years. Our old bands used to play together too. So it was just a lot of like overlapping. And I'd actually asked Luke originally to drum in Palecurse, but when he was in another band, he was like, "Oh, we're just kind of busy," and I was just like, "Oh man, okay." Like I was so bummed out. So when that band broke up, I was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Please be in my band." So I'm really jazzed that it worked out the way that it did. I mean, I of course things happen for whatever reason, but yeah, they're all meant to be here, and it was super cool. It kind of just all happened, and it was very natural. Like I didn't feel like I had to like do a lot of searching. I kind of just waited, and it just was right. So it's been really cool. Yeah.
And how did you come up with the name for the band?
See, I've got asked that a couple times. I have a couple theories in my mind, maybe my subconscious, but I remember one night, we watch a lot of UFC, like we love fighting. And so we were watching Israel Adesanya, he's one of my favorite fighters, and he was fighting this evening and whatever day. And I remember I was kind of just thinking, dude, I have a huge list of band names. I mean, on my phone, it's probably like this big. It is huge. And I wrote them down for probably better of a year because I just was like, man, I've never gotten to like solely name a band before. And I felt like, I don't know, it's kind of an honor. So I sat and really thought about it. And I'd had a name at first, but it was taken by a band in a state away. So I was like, I'm not doing that. And then the two words just pale and curse came to my mind, like literally just like that. And I was like, I remember texting my husband, like while everybody's like, kind of watching the fight and stuff. I was like, I think I have the band name. I was like, this feels really good. So I sat with it for probably a week before I said anything to anybody because I was like, does it sound stupid or, is it kind of like hokey or whatever? And I was like, it felt right. So I like kind of mocked up a logo and I really liked it. And as I sat with the name, it also just kind of feels kind of witchy and weird, which is kind of cool, like kind of culty. So I really like it. I feel like it's easy to say. It kind of comes off the tongue sharp, which is cool. So yeah, it just kind of came to me. I don't know. So, but I was really stoked about it, and I love it. So yeah.
What city are you based out of?
We say Indianapolis, Indiana. We're all kind of like surrounded like near it. But it's just easier to say that because we're all like an hour away from it. And it's like, or we could say four different cities, and that feels kind of silly. So we just say Indianapolis. Yep.
And how's the music scene there?
Honestly, I love it. I've grown up with this scene. So I am from a little town called Terre Haute. Um, it's like from where I live, it's about 2.5 hours now. But growing up, I mean, that was our home base. We said the same thing then in my old band. We would just say Indianapolis because it was just easier. But I think the scene's great. I think it went through kind of an ebb and flow, like like places tend to do. Um, but one thing that's always remained true is that I feel like when I say kids, I don't mean like literally kids, but like when kids or fans or whatever come to shows, I really feel like they really care. And for me, also as a fan of music, and I have a lot of friends in bands, and go to shows myself in Indianapolis all the time, like I feel like it's healthy. And I feel like lately, especially, people give almost any type of band a chance, and I think that is just so cool. So I think the scene is great, and I love our venue. We always say the Hoosier Dome is our home venue. I love the owner; she's amazing. It's a safe space for everybody, and it's all ages, so it's rad. I honestly love it. I've met some of the coolest people there, like touring or playing or whatever. It's been cool, so I love it.
Awesome. Um, I wanted to dive into your new album that just came out a month ago, Dark Room. And I wanted to talk about a couple songs. I'm going to reference some lyrics in here, and you could just tell me a little bit about each song. Okay. Okay. Haunted. I love when it kicks in when you're like, don't you give up that easy. Like I love when that kicks in. But there was a line in there I wanted to reference. You can't outlive the past, caught in the middle. All we can do is try. Can you tell me a little bit about that song, a little bit about that line?
Yeah, so that song is really special. I feel like every song kind of is for a different reason, but when I was writing that, I was kind of going through trying to think how to word it without making it some massive story, but I was kind of caught in the middle of two people. And it was like I felt like I couldn't have one without the other, even though both sides didn't directly affect me. Like I didn't do anything. So it's kind of like when someone is getting taken from you and you literally have no say. And it just gutted me to think about, like, both of those people not existing in my life because of something completely out of my control. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And so with that lyric, it kind of feels like, you literally cannot change the past. There's no altering it. We all know this as humans, hopefully at this point. And all you can do is move forward. And so that song kind of became an anthem for me, and it was really special because it felt like even now, that song has taken new meaning for me. But it's like, I feel like that song helped me heal and realized that, and in the end, it was honestly awesome. Everything worked out. Both people are in my life. It was all good. But man, in that moment, I was like, I felt like being dead. I mean, it was just like pure misery. So it was just cool to write about that feeling because I know a lot of people can relate to that. And that's what I want from this record. Like I want people to make assumptions, because that's part of storytelling, I think. But also like in that song, it kind of depicts a cage and how you're following someone. But it's like the cage isn't by your design. It just exists because of the circumstances around you and you're stuck there. So I just really, really love that. And yeah, that's actually probably like one of my absolute favorite songs off the record. So I love that you asked specifically about that one. But yeah, I would say that, kind of being stuck in the middle, moving forward, and even though things aren't perfect, it's like it can still be great.
Your outside still haunting while I'm searching, stuck in air. Create the cages we have, cast them cold with spite and fear. So I won't back down and I'll be following those footsteps. Will I keep you close? And no, don't tell me this is how it's gonna be now. This isn't what I chose. So together that easy. Wishing it all comes down. Will you fight for me? Don't you ignore me? Forget whatever you told me now. You can't outlive the past. Caught in the middle. All we can do is try. Don't you give up that easy. Wishing it all comes
Now, now that everything worked out with those two, do they know about that lyric?
They both know about the song. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, they both yeah, the parties know, like, all is good, and the song is very special to both of them as well for that reason. So, yeah, it was just very cool. It was very cool for me, like, that I was like, "Man, everything worked out, and they love the song. Sick." So, yeah, everybody knows.
Okay, the next one is Sleep Talk, and it says, "'Cause holding tight is not far from letting go."
Mhm. So, you ever think metaphorically, like, I guess maybe not metaphorically, it's like you're holding on to something so tight that your hand could just like stop working because your grip is so tight, you know? I I feel like that line literally means that to me, but again can be applied in almost any situation. So when I wrote Sleep Talk, it was actually I can't remember what line originally, but I had this line that kept coming to mind, and I had a dream, which I write a lot of songs based off dreams that I have, which are sometimes really disturbing, but makes me feel better because it's out in the world. But Sleep Talk, I had a dream that I couldn't talk to whatever metaphorical person unless I was asleep. And so it was the only time I could speak to this person. And so it was terrible because it's like I can't sleep every moment of the day. But then it was like sometimes they wouldn't, come to my dreams and speak to me. And so then it's like conversation was sparse. So I was going through a breakup during, the writing of some of this record. And so I'm not one for like a cheesy love song personally. I think they have their place for sure. But for me, I like to make them a bit dark. so, so in Sleep Talk, you know, it kind of to me gives off the like I'm gonna get back at you vibes, and then eventually that person's like, well, I'm just not gonna show up unless I'm in your dreams. So that's when we would speak, and I don't know, I love that song. It's also super catchy and fun to play. So I'm not sure if that really answers your question, but yeah, holding tight's not far from letting go. I just feel like I needed to loosen my grasp, or like this was just not going to work out, and it didn't, which was great. But yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Okay, the last one I want to reference is Fever, and there's a line in there, if your heart stops beating, would you let me in?
Okay, so Fever is my personal favorite. I really cheerleaded for that song like from the beginning, and I I actually we actually wrote that one first. So I was in an airport New Year's Eve by myself. I was coming home from wherever, and I remember just kind of feeling like really defeated again with that like breakup or whatever. And I remember pulling out at this little black, I still have it, but it's a little black like lyric book that I had, maybe I don't know, this big or something. And I wrote in the front of it, to those who said I'd never make it, here's to you. And I dated it. And then I started writing Fever. And there was no one in particular who said I wouldn't make it. It wasn't like that. But I kind of feel like you struggle with that mentally in anything in life, you know. And I felt like there were some people who didn't want to see me win, you know, and maybe still. And that's not my burden to carry. I don't care, you know, I'm going to press on because I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And, you know, sat down and wrote the lyrics for Fever. And again, the dark side of me, I guess. If your heart stops beating, would you let me in? It just means that, like, well, if I can't speak to you while you're alive, how about if you're dead? Because if you're not going to allow me to come in your heart, to be a part of your life, how about after you're gone? So it's kind of just a jab, you know, kind of a sassy way of saying that. And I really like that lyric a lot, actually, so it's cool you bring it up. But yeah, that's my favorite song. It was just cool, and I feel like, you know, it's fun and catchy. It's a lot of fun to play. But yeah, I love that song. I hope it empowers people that, you know, even though whatever you want to work out and people want to see you lose, you know, that people keep going on anyway, because it is worth it. Even when you're not winning, it's worth it. So.
Right now.
Do you have any upcoming shows coming up?
Yeah, we have one, I believe it's October 24th. It's in Indianapolis, at the Healer. I've personally never played there before, but I've been to shows there. Um, I honestly don't remember every band, but we're playing with a band called Elijah, and there's two others. One's from out of state. They both might be from out of state, but Elijah is a local band. I'm pretty positive. I feel like I'm like botching that because I just looked at the flyer, but I feel like again I'm on the spot so I can't remember. But yeah, October 24th, and then we actually have. I feel like there's a slew of plans I've actually been working on the last couple of days. Luke and I have been bouncing ideas off each other. Um, but so we have that show, and then we're actually working on a tour right now for November. And by me, I mean the agent we're working with. I don't have anything to do with it. I basically approved the time frame and then the dates of where he wanted to send us. And I was like, yep, sounds good. So we'll be gone for about, it's almost 2.5 weeks. So I'm really excited about it. Absolutely love touring, like actually touring. It's so fun. It's a lot of work, but I'm really excited. So those are the handful of shows right now. So
Okay. And your plans for the rest of the year is to book a tour, basically.
right, right. Yeah, that's a chunk of it. Honestly, I feel like there's a lot going on. It's hard because it's like I can't always post everything online. I mean, I'd love to, and I try to be as like open and whatever with everyone as I can. But like I I love I like to run the band's social media. And eventually it probably won't always be me, but right now it is, and it's fun to meet fans virtually, and we've met some of the absolute coolest fans recently. That kind of keep me going, especially, like mentally you're like, man, this is such a win. This is so cool. Like someone cares about what you made. Like that is awesome. Um, but yeah, so we have actually a music video we are going to be doing for Fever. So that's the tentative plan. And I would like to also do one for Haunted, which I've talked to another guy out of state for as well. So we'd have to travel for that one, but I really want to do that too. So right now, tentatively, those are the two songs we're doing it for. We're kind of tossed around some new dates because we've been pushing it back a little bit. And then we're going to be working on a cover song because that's something I've just really wanted to do, and everybody was game. So cover song, and then I think we're going to be working on a new single before the end of the year to hopefully have out by end of this year or the beginning of next. So I feel like there's a lot going on, but I'm kind of just have to wait for some of it to happen. So, and until then, probably hopping on shows, as it comes. We're going to be doing new photos, like new photo shoot, and we're getting some new merch made. And yeah, that's pretty much all of it right now. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I asked some of my friends, can you come up with some questions to ask off the cuff? So, I'm looking here. Okay. What is your definition of making it in the music industry?
Great question. I actually was talking with Luke about this recently. So I feel like it looks like a couple things for me personally. Like, I think money's great, but I'm going to be honest, I do not care about it. I want to play shows to a lot of people. And if I could have anything in the world that I wanted, I would want to be like my Kim level, playing the theatrics, changing lives. And it's like, you don't have to be that size to do those things. But I mean, I've been to a lot of their shows recently because they're doing a tour right now. And I mean, even now, again, 15 years later, they're changing my life. And I just remember looking at them and being like, I want to do this again, still. So for me, no matter what size we are, big, small, or otherwise considered by the industry, as long as we are actively going for the one, to me, that's making it. So I'm just really excited to play music, to be honest with you. I mean, it's an awesome opportunity that I feel like not a lot of people get, and I know how lucky I really am to have people that are willing to support my really weird vision at times and play music with me. You know, they feel like my brothers. And yeah, so I guess that's my dream. Like I of course would love to be that level one day, and you know, hopefully we can look back on this interview and be like, she did it. You know what I mean? Like that would be sick. Yeah, it would be really sick. And but you know, I'll say like I just feel in my heart like we'll get there in time, and I'm just really grateful. And I hope uh everyone sticks around for the journey. So, cuz I'm excited. I'm really excited. So, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. And there's another one here. What motivates you to getting back up on stage every night?
um it's a good question. I would definitely say the people that attend. So like we don't have lyrics out right now. That's something I've been working on because that's actually been a bit more of a task than I realized, unfortunately. But um, it is so cool for something you've written for someone to sing back at you. Like our one of our last shows we played in May. I remember there's these two girls up front and they were like screaming every word, and I was just like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever experienced, you know, like. And then there was another fan that brought bracelets, like they had made two for each band member, like mine just said B, and we had Luke, Monroe, Josh, and then they made Palecurse ones, and then they made ones that had like all of our song tracks, and I just felt like you guys are the reason that I come back because we're creating a community. Like I want everyone to feel like they're a part of something greater. Like I feel with the bands that I love. Like I feel like I am more than I am because of them, you know, and they feel like they're more because of us. And so that's what I want to do for fans. You know, I want people to feel the drive to keep doing whatever it is that they want to do. And so they keep me going too. I mean, dude, I love it. And I've played shows with nobody. You know, like I've been there and I'll still be there and that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's definitely our fans. And I just love music. I'm deeply rooted in that at this point, and I don't think that's ever going to stop. I have no plans to ever retire. So
Okay. Let's see. How can we get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram?
yeah, so like I said, it's typically me running socials, so it's me. But yeah, you can message us on Facebook. We have an email, it's just palecurseofficial@gmail.com. Instagram, you can DM us there. We also have a TikTok. A lot of people DM us there, which is really cool. I feel like it's a pretty easy platform to use. I'm a little bit newer to it in the sense that like I've had one for years, but I didn't really like utilize it. It's been really fun, honestly. There's a lot of really cool people on there. So yeah, any of the social medias for sure.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just want to say thanks for having me, and I hope you guys dig the band and come out to a show.